Yes. Can you please put your hand at your chest? And one second. Hello, Venerable Sir.
Nice. Hello, everyone. Okay, so let's sit down in a meditation posture. Make sure your back is erect, side cast down. And we can make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice the flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy and changing. We continue in this manner to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head. We allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be heavy and changing. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, We allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy and changing. And as we give the body the freedom to be the way it is, we achieve freedom from worry about the body. Let's enjoy this freedom. Let's watch this peace. Now we can share our peace with other living beings. We can start in our room. We don't force, we don't expect, we just allow all beings to experience at least as much peace as we are experiencing now. May all beings in this room be in peace. May all beings in this building be in peace. May all beings in this city or village be in peace. May all beings in this country be in peace. May all beings on this continent be in peace. May all beings on this planet be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Make sure your back is erect. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And with that determination, we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. And we can take one more minute to watch what's going on with the mind as we are not moving at all. Very well. So everybody please come close to your cameras. And we will ask you our question: how many days out of the last 7 did you meditate? So those of you who did not vote yet, who did not answer yet, please come close to your camera. We are waiting for you. We're still waiting for 4 people to answer. Now 2 more people, still 2 more people need to answer. So come close to your camera, make sure you have answered. Okay, so I think we are much better than last week, but still it is not very good. It's a little bit over 50%, but our aim is 100%, of course. So 40% meditated 5 or 6 times, and 13% meditated every day. So if you can meditate at least 5 days, and that's pretty good. If you meditate less, well, then that's not good at all. So it's of course better than nothing, but it would be great if all of you can somehow manage to meditate every day so that you get the most benefit of the practice that you learn here. When you meditate, meditation will reveal to you all your weaknesses. And as your weaknesses are revealed, you get the power to work with them. And then as you meditate and work on your weaknesses, gradually you improve so that from your weaknesses gradually become strengths. The weaknesses don't become strengths, but the weaknesses gradually get removed and replaced by strengths. And that's much easier with meditation than without meditation. And you then benefit from this in the world. So you then benefit from this by happiness, by riches, by wealth, by good relationships, by safety, by fulfilled wishes, by pleasant experiences, and of course by happy life after death. Okay, so this was our question. Let's move on to the homework right away. So I would like to ask Tan Ngok, Kan Van, and Min Kwak to raise your hand, raise your Zoom hand. Great. So Min Kwak, can you please read for us your homework? I cannot hear you.
Pulling it up.
Now I can hear you. Yes, very well.
Page 48. At birth, we have more neutrons than any other time in our life. Page 54. A lack of serotonin can result in aggression and depression.
I think it is neurons, not neutrons. And it's very funny that you just add one letter and it becomes totally something else. I'm sure it is neurons. Neurons. Neutron is the particle in an atom, that's neutron, and neuron is the essential component of the brain and of nerves here of the brain. So the T letter is surely not needed there. So at birth we have more neurons, Neurons. Okay, very well. So let's continue to Train Ngok Kan Van.
Page 43. Thoughts, feelings, movements, and moods are nothing more than neurons communicating by sending electrical messages to one another. Page 49. Within the first year, the neural tracts that support brain regions involved in vision and other primary senses, as well as those involved in gross motor activity, are completed.
Very well. Thank you very much. So surely it is neurons. And you may like to mark your page by the number alone. So instead of writing page, number, colon, you would just write the number. So instead of writing page space 43 colon space, you would write 43 space. It's that simple. If you follow this everywhere, you will not get wrong. So that will simplify your note, and you are then happy about your note because it's nicely compact and still clear. Okay, so let's move on to Tan Ngok. Tan Ngok.
Yes, page 56. What scientists tell us is that insight depends on the ability to look outside oneself, and because skill arises in frontal and prefrontal lobes, It takes time to develop.
Okay, thank you very much. Please wait, please wait. You're reading only 2 sentences, so we are fine for page 56. Can you please continue by page 49?
Page 49. Inhibiting a neutral response is just as important as activating one when it comes to executive brain function.
Fine, thank you very much. Yes, always make sure that you present to our class only 2 sentences. You can note down anything you want, but please present to us only 2 sentences. Thank you very much. Well done. And I will read for you my note, what I noted. So we are reading The Teenage Brain. So that's the under the microscope, right? Chapter 3. So I have there also 2 sentences to share with you. I will show you how it looks for me. I have also a lot of notes, but I will be sharing with you only 2. So look at that, how my notes look like. Again, you can see that I have there only the number and then space. All right. So then I always know that the first number is the page number, so I cannot get wrong. Several studies have shown that children and adolescents generally have the same accuracy, but the reaction times, the speed at which a subject successfully inhibits a response, dramatically decrease with age in subjects age 8 to 20. In other words, it takes longer for adolescents to figure out when not to do something. So that's quite dangerous. All right. So it takes longer time to recognize danger. Page 54. The more complex areas of the brain, especially the frontal lobes, take much longer time to be myelinated and are not finished until a person is well into his or her 20s. So even by the time that you're 20, you still are not completely using the complete potential of your brain. So by the time of your 20, 22, maybe 25, you start to be gaining the full power over your brain that you can ever get. So homework for next class. So this was under the microscope. So good. Or was that only one part? Or was that second part? 47 until 60. Did I ask you to read all of the chapter or just part of it? I probably asked you to read all of the chapter, right? Nobody's telling me anything. So what about to continue by learning a job for the teen brain? Learning or a job for the teen brain. And that is, well, that is again a long chapter. In my version, it is about 17 pages. So that's a lot. So what about if you divide it into portions? So I will again show you what I see. So what about to read it until the figure 10, long-term potentiation, okay? the black head. Alright, so you can read until the black head, after which you have 69 until 77, which is not that bad, and still quite a few pictures, so it's not so much of reading. So it's about 7 pages for you. Well, yes, it's about 7 pages for you to read for the next homework. Alright, so until the picture long-term potentiation, and then the other week we'll be reading this in the second part of the chapter 4. So now I would like to encourage you, everybody, to not just meditate every day, but also to do your homework right on the day when you receive it. So now it's quite late in Vietnam, for example, but if you are in the US, then you actually have morning or relatively noon. I'm now in Florida and I have here exactly 11 a.m. Alright, so if you're in the US, then it's your morning. I encourage you to do your homework on the same day that you have received it. If you cannot do it on that same day, then do it at least on the next day. Alright, and we will make a question, and we can experiment with the question already now, and that is, when did you do your homework? Okay, and so option A will be on the day it was given, or the next day, 2 days later, 3 days later, so we have 5 options, right? All right.
Even they actually I discovered that there are more than 5 options. You can make more than 5 choices.
I see. Well, let's keep it simple into 5.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. So now let's move on to our recitation. So we have been reciting things. You were reciting 3 refuges, paying respect to the Buddha. You were also writing your favorite benefits, right? And I didn't hear the benefits from you. So can we move on to the benefits? So let's select 3 more people to read their benefits, their favorite benefits. So when you're selected, you will be reading 2 benefits. All right, you will be reading. So you need to read 4 benefits, right? So you will be reading 2 benefits for not committing adultery. That is one that is immediate and one that is caused later by karma, and then another pair of benefits, that is benefits for not telling lies, one that is immediate and one that is caused by karma. So we are waiting for the 3 names.
Sunday. Kiệt Ly Thiên Phúc, Ngô Thúy Hà, and Timo, please.
So if you have heard your name from Tutam, please raise your Zoom hand. So Tutam, I think you said 3 people, 2 of them raised their hand. Okay, got it. So let's hear from Timo. Please read for us all of the 4 benefits. That is 2 for not committing adultery, not cheating on one's husband or wife, and 2 for telling lies. Now you need to be careful. Cheating is possible only when you're married. What if you are not married? You see, so the word cheating is not really complete. Adultery comprises the cheating and also having sexual intercourse of someone who is married when you are not. All right, so it's equally bad. It's equally evil and very dangerous for you because it causes a lot of suffering in the future, in this life and in the next life. So cheating is not really a good translation of this role. All right, so it is adultery is better. In adultery, you have cheating. That means when you're married, you have sexual intercourse with another woman or another man than who is your spouse. And also, if you are not married, if you have sexual intercourse with someone else who is married, well, with someone else. All right, so in that case, in both cases, we call it adultery. Adultery. All right, so I'm listening to Timo.
My favorite benefit of faithfulness is that it's easier to meditate on loving kindness, and the second is that the mind is clearer, where it will help me focus more on one thing than another. And my favorite benefit of not lying is that it's easy to be friendly with those who do not tell lies. And the other one is due to not committing the bad deed of telling lies in this life, one does not suffer consequences of such telling lies in this life and in the future.
Nice, very well. Thank you very much. Tien Phu.
The immediate benefits of both of them is that it helps the mind to be clearer.
Yes, so the immediate benefit of not committing adultery and lies, you have selected the same one. Very well.
Not immediate.
Kamma benefit.
My benefit of not telling lies. Faithfulness is what is it?
So the kamma benefit for not committing adultery.
And amiable speech. That means people appreciate when you speak.
Yes. So the kamma benefit for not committing adultery is freedom from enemies. And the kamma benefit for not telling lies is amiable speech. People appreciate when you speak. Very nice. Thank you very much. Ngo Tui Ha. Right? I think we have lost Ngo Tui Ha. Is it possible?
Yes, sorry, I just out of the room.
Okay, no problem. Oh, you have
3A.
made 8. So please simplify and read for us only one from each pair, okay?
Yes.
So Ngo Tui Ha, you are muted. You can unmute.
Yes, the 3A is the benefits of the 3A is 1. It is easier to meditate on loving kindness. And the 5. The mind is clear. 3B, the pleasant sleeping and freedom from anger. 4A, it is easier to meditate on loving kindness, and the mind is clear. The 4B, the clearness of the faculty mind is clear, and the distance and speed.
Okay, so remember next time you need to maintain the limit, all right? So if it is just 1 for the immediate benefits of not committing adultery, then you need to note 1, not 2. You can note 2 or all 11 in your notebook, but do not share with us 2. Share with us 1 only, because that's what was required, okay? If it is 1 for karma benefits for not committing adultery, again, you need to make 1 and not 2. Again, if it is 1 for immediate benefits for not telling lies, make sure you make just 1. And if it is just 1 for karma benefits for not telling lies, make sure you make just 1. And I worry that you actually forgot what your 3A, 3B, 4A, 4B mean. Make sure next time that you mark nicely what do you actually mean by your 3A, 3B, 4A, 4B, because I have noted it pretty clearly in the list. You also need to note it well in your note. Okay, well, so seems like we have homework completely done. Now what's coming next is first part of chapter 4, that's true, but also one more list, and those are the benefits for not drinking alcohol. There are so many benefits for not drinking alcohol. Let me see if I can get it for you right away. There are the most benefits for not drinking alcohol out of all of the 5 precepts. So it's a lot and so many. All right. Does anyone have any questions regarding not committing adultery, not telling lies, or anything at all? If there's anything that makes you doubtful, worried, or whatever you would like to know. Now is the best time to ask anything you would like to know. No, everything is clear. That's good. So now let's move on to the recitation. So in the previous class, you were probably reciting the first precept, and today you will be reciting the second, third, and okay, let's recite today the second and third, and we will keep the fourth and fifth for the next class. So let's make a little recapitulation. So first, you pay respect to the Buddha and remind yourself of the Buddha's qualities. So the main three Buddha's qualities: number one, the Buddha was free from all suffering. Bhagavato, he was exalted, he was free from all suffering. Arahato, he was free from all mental defilement, no anger, no greed, no ignorance. And Samma Sambuddhassa, the Buddha was rightly and fully awakened to the truth of suffering and to the way out of suffering. So let's do this with the recitation right away. All right, so we are here. So everybody, please unmute. Make sure you keep your hands together at the chest. So I'm waiting for everybody to unmute. Jin Ngok Kanvan, if you can unmute, it will help a lot. Remember to keep your hands together at the chest. And you can everybody repeat after me. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Very well. So now everybody can mute back. And now we have the three refuges. So I will make a little recap of what that means. Three refuges means that you are reminding yourself of the source of your peace. So you remind yourself that the Buddha's teachings, Dhamma, the community of monks, Sangha, are the source of your peace. Why? Because they show you the path towards enlightenment. And so you come to them, you approach them, and you learn from them, you follow their suggestions, advice, their encouragement, and thereby you can achieve peace for yourself. Very well. So please unmute yourself. Again, remember to keep your hands together at the chest. So I'm still waiting for everybody to unmute. Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyam saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyam saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyam saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyam saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyam saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyam saranang gacchami.
Very well, so now I will just approve that going for refuges is complete, and you will only reply Ama Bhante. So let's try it together. Again, remember to unmute yourself. Make sure your hands are together at the chest. Sarana gamanang paripunnang. Very well. So now we are moving on to the precepts. So the first out of the 5 precepts is related to not killing. So it means that you make the full determination that you will never kill any living being, be it small or big, if it is visible by a naked eye under a good light. So if it is a naked, healthy eye, that means it's not aided by a microscope, and it is under visible light, well then, if you in those conditions can see the living being, well then you cannot kill it. But moreover, rather than just avoiding killing, you cherish life. So you support other living beings in long life, and also you wish them that they're healthy and happy. So you don't harm them, and instead you help them to be healthy and to be happy. So you can repeat after me. Again, make sure you unmute it. Keep your hands together at the chest. Panatipata. Veramani sikkhapadang. Samadhiyami. The second precept means I follow the precept of refraining from taking what is not given. So here is meant taking what is not given and owned by someone else. So if it is not owned by anyone, then it's fine. Maybe you know from The Little Prince by Antoine Saint-Exupéry about the gentleman, the businessman who was counting his stars in the world, in the galaxy. So that's actually okay. If there is no owner of the stars, well, if you take them, no problem. If it is not owned by anyone, you can actually take it. And if you are wrong, it doesn't matter. But as soon as you find out that it was actually owned by someone, it is very suitable to give it back. All right? So not taking what is not given is very important. All right? So we do not steal, and we cherish. Moreover, rather than just avoiding stealing, we also protect other people's, other beings' possessions. And moreover, we give them. So not only that we don't take what's not given, but we also give others what we have whenever we see that they need or may benefit from what we are giving them. All right, so you can unmute. Remember to keep your hands together, and you can repeat after me. Adinadana. Veramani sikkhapadang. Samadhiyami.
Samadhiyami.
Very well. So now the third precept is related to cheating and adultery. So I've already explained it, so this will be very easy. Now I see that I'm showing you 8 precepts. Well, I actually want to show you the 5 precepts. So let me put it up. Okay, this is the red one. So in the 5 precepts, the third one is related to adultery and cheating. So it is literally, I follow the rule of refraining from sexual misconduct. So that sexual conduct, that's wrong, the wrong one. What's wrong? Well, wrong is when you have sexual intercourse with someone who you do not take care for, or if you are cared for by someone else. All right, so either you care for the other person, or you are not cared for by anyone else than the other person. So either you care for the person or you're cared for by that person. Okay, so in this case, cared for is usually it's understood that the men are wealthy and powerful, and so they can have a wife who they will care for. So then the wife has anything she dreams of, while the wife is cared for by the husband. So then she is taking care of the house. She's taking care of the house. She's taking care of the children. So this is the ancient system. Now today it's all gone. No system anymore today. A woman is taking care for a husband and husband does nothing. That's the today's system. You enjoy it? Ladies enjoy it? Okay. I have no problem. I'm a monk. But in the Buddha's time, the system made sense to the people. All right. So the man had to have a job. He had to make money, and the ladies had to be taking care of the house. So their duties were nicely distributed, and each of them knew what to do. Now today, they don't know what to do, so they commonly do nothing. And then it's the children who suffer. And because they expect the other person to do something, but they themselves think that they don't have to do anything, the husband and wife argue and fight. All right, so that's the today's style. That's what ladies have achieved. Congratulations. All right, so we are now talking about adultery whenever someone is married. So what is married? Married is of 10 kinds. But one is very interesting here. So you can have married by a contract. Now today you write a contract on a paper. In the Buddha's time there are various ways how you would make a contract, but not by paper, because they did not have paper yet, but they did make a contract. They invited other people and it was a big event of getting married. But there is another kind of marriage when the lover keeps the lover in their home. All right, so that is full-fledged marriage in Buddhism. So if the lover keeps the lover in their home, well then that is a full-fledged marriage. No need for paper in the Buddhist time. Okay, so be very careful about this. Even if you do not have any paper, but you later in the future keep your lover or whoever it is in your home, and then you have your children together and you take care of the household, then still in the Buddhist understanding you are actually married, like it or not. So that's marriage. Marriage is when the two live together in one household that both of them take care for, regardless whether other people know about it or not, regardless whether other people agree with it or not. All right? Fine. So as soon as someone who is married has sexual intercourse with someone different than the spouse, well then that's breaking of the third rule. So they will not get the benefits of not breaking it. Okay? And if someone is not married and they will have sexual intercourse with someone who is married, well then again they have committed adultery and they will not enjoy the benefits of not committing adultery. All right, so you can unmute everybody, make sure your hands are together, and you can repeat after me. Kamesu. Micchācara. Veramani sikkhapadam. Samadhiyami. Very well. Nice. We will go through the remaining 2 precepts another time. Does anyone have any question, anything you would like to tell me or ask me? If any one of you has any question, any concern, not just about our class or about me, but if you have any difficulties at schools, with your friends, with your parents, with your education, or you would just like to gain some more information, anything, let me know by email. My email address is mangsarana@gmail.com. So anytime you can send me an email. I'm most happy to support you in anything you do. Yes, Isabella?
For the A's with the accent at the top is to stretch the pronunciation out.
Excuse me?
For when we're doing the 5 precepts, with the words with the letter A in it, right? And the A's have the accent at the top. It's to stretch the pronunciation of it.
If you have A, I, or U without the little line above, well then you need to read them short. If you have their line above, you need to read them long. If it is E or O without the line, then note that there is never E or O with a line. And that is because you need to infer, you need to realize whether they're short or long in dependence on the number of consonants that follow. So if it is E followed by 1 consonant or 0 consonants, then it is long. Like now we had kamesu, but you had there long A but short E. Well, the E is short not because it is short, but because you immediately see, oh, it's followed by 1 consonant. What is it? Sa. Kamesu. And the sa is 1. There's just 1 consonant S, and therefore the E is long. Kamesu. Now, for example, in the case of Veramani, why is the E read long if there is no little line above it? Well, because it is followed by 1 consonant. Veramani. We do not have many cases when you would have E or O followed by 2 consonants. All right, but there are such cases in Pali language, even though there are not many in our recitation paper. So if it is E or O followed by 2 consonants, well, then it is read short. For example, if we say the best, setta, you see there's E sound, but it is followed by the double T plus H. So a T and TH. So it is Setta. It's short.
Thank you, Gunayosu.
And if it is not followed by any consonant, it's long. So you know that from Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato, because here the O is not followed by anything, well then it is long. You also know it from Bhante, when the E is not followed by anything, so it's long. Bhante. Okay. Nice. Any more question? Anything anyone would like to know? Yes. Long Min Tuan?
No, sir. No, Mante.
Okay, well, you have my email address. So if you would like to know anything, tell me anything. I'm most happy to support you in anything. Especially regarding information, I'm happy to share with you my knowledge, my sources. So let me know as soon as you feel that you could benefit from my advice or from my guidance. Let me know. Yes, Tutam?
Devante, related to notes in chapter 2, you told that you we will remind you to explain how do we like experience pain or like pleasant without having done something bad or good for that.
I think I don't understand. What do you mean? How you experience what?
Yes, but they are related to a note from chapter 2, last lesson. The thoughts, feelings, movement, and moods are not they more than neurons communicating by sending electrical message to one another. So I think
Yes.
that you told us like to remind you to explain more because limited time from last lesson.
Yeah, but I still don't understand the question. Maybe do you have it written
Yes.
somewhere as a little note so that you can send it to me in the chat box?
Yes, Monday. Actually, I can find the note. I just note down the phrase by writing. So I mean that's that time you said that you would like to explain more. How do we experience like pain or pleasure without having done something good or bad?
I see. Yes, now I
Yeah.
finally understood. All right.
Yes.
So sometimes we experience pain because we have done something bad in the past. And yes, I will finish within about 3 minutes. And then sometimes we experience uncomfortable feeling because we did not do anything bad in the past. So there are 8 reasons why we experience displeasure. All right. First 4 are related to disease. So if you have disease related to your bile or phlegm or air, or their combination, so this is the Indian distinction of diseases. So if you have any problem with your health, well then it's possible to experience unpleasant feeling, and still it is not caused by karma. For example, you ate something bad. Well then if you ate something bad, well then of course you will have your stomach ache. It doesn't mean it's your bad karma. Then you may feel hot or cold. Well, if you feel hot or cold, doesn't mean it's your bad karma. You turn on the fan if it's too hot, or you take a blanket over your body if it's too cold, and you're done. There's no need to talk about karma here. If you have an enemy, somebody slaps you or punches you, Well, if it is because you told them something wrong, well, then you should not be impolite, right? So that's not related to your karma. And finally, the inequilibrium, is the time when something is not right. For example, you are not okay with heights and you happen to go very high on a high building. Well, then of course it's not comfortable because you're not doing well with heights. Or you don't know how to deal with snakes and you come among snakes. Well, then that's not a good idea. So it's not necessarily caused by karma. And then you have karma as the 8th condition of unpleasant feeling. So you see there are 7 conditions for unpleasant feeling which are not karma, and then 1 that is the karma. So how will you recognize that your uncomfortable feeling is caused by karma or by one of the 7 things? By solution. If you can find solution for your problem, then it is not caused by karma. If you cannot find solution for your problem, then probably it's caused by karma. So for example, if you get some illness, for example stomachache, you take some medicine, you're good. It was not caused by karma. But some people get a stomachache whole their life, again and again, and they suffer so much. Well, then probably that's caused by karma. If you have one person who punches you because you told them something bad, that's probably not your karma, especially if you can then become their friends. But if always wherever you go people punch you and harm you, well, then that's probably your karma. But here's the good news: you always try to find solution. Until you die, it is possible that you can find solution. And if you find solution, well, then it is not caused by karma. The only time when we are sure that it was caused by karma is if you could not resolve it until your death. So only when you're dead, we know that it was caused by your karma. Until you die, you always search for solution, because there is always possibility that you will find solution for your suffering. Okay, so that's all for today. It was a pleasure to see you all, and see you next week. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much, Auntie. Everyone, can you please unmute? Yes, can you please put your hand at your chest? Everyone say goodbye, the Venerable Sir.
Goodbye.
Venerable Sir.
Nice. Goodbye, everyone.